Do you often find yourself wide awake at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, staring at the ceiling, mind racing, just wishing you could drift back to sleep? It's a frustration so many people face as they get a little older. You go to bed tired, hoping for a good night's rest, only to find yourself wide awake when the world outside is at its quietest. That exhaustion carries through the next day, making everything feel a bit harder, maybe even impacting your mood and energy levels. It can feel like your body clock is just broken, and there's nothing you can do about it. But what if I told you that this common issue, waking up consistently in the early hours, isn't just an unavoidable part of aging? What if there are specific, often simple, reasons why this happens, and practical things you can do to reclaim those precious early morning sleep hours? It's not about finding some magic pill, but understanding the subtle shifts happening and how to work with your body, not against it. In this video, we're going to look at some surprising factors that contribute to this early waking and explore gentle, effective ways to encourage yourself to sleep right through until morning. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Now, let's dive into some of the specific things that might be contributing to those unwelcome 3 a.m. wake-up calls. One of the most common culprits, and perhaps the most talked about, is needing to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. It's incredibly disruptive. And once you're up and moving, sometimes it's hard to settle back down. As we age, our bladder capacity can decrease slightly, and the hormone that helps our kidneys concentrate urine at night can also lessen, meaning more trips might be needed. But beyond just the physical changes, the timing of your fluid intake really matters. Think about when you're having your last drink of the evening. Are you having a big glass of water right before bed? Or perhaps you enjoy a cup of tea, or another beverage in the hour or two leading up to sleep. Shifting your fluid intake earlier in the evening can make a significant difference. Try to finish drinking most of your fluids a good 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to bed. This gives your body plenty of time to process the liquid, and for you to make a final trip to the bathroom before settling in for the night. It's a simple adjustment, but it can drastically reduce the urgency that wakes you up in the deep sleep hour, beyond just reducing fluids right before bed. Consider what you're drinking. Caffeinated beverages, like coffee or some teas, are well-known stimulants, but their effects can linger longer than you might think. Even if you had your last cup of coffee in the afternoon, the residual stimulant effect could be contributing to a lighter sleep later in the night, making you more susceptible to waking up when your bladder sends that signal. Similarly, alcohol, while it might initially make you feel sleepy, actually disrupts your sleep architecture later in the night, often leading to awakenings. It acts as a diuretic too, which means you might need to use the bathroom more often anyway. So, paying closer attention to when you consume caffeine and alcohol, and perhaps limiting them in the late afternoon and evening, can be a game changer for that uninterrupted sleep. Another factor that often gets overlooked is the timing of any medications you're taking. Some medications, especially diuretics used for blood pressure or heart conditions, are specifically designed to make you produce more urine. If you are taking these in the evening, they are likely to contribute to nighttime bathroom trips. It's always worth having a conversation with your doctor or pharmacist about the timing of your medications. Sometimes, simply shifting a dose from evening to morning can alleviate nighttime issues without affecting the medication's effectiveness. Of course, never change your medication schedule without consulting with a healthcare professional first. They can help you figure out the best approach based on your individual needs and the specific medications you're taking. While needing the bathroom is a physical reason to wake up, sometimes the early morning awakening is linked to something else entirely. Something happening inside your body that feels less obvious. One such possibility is related to your blood sugar levels. For some people, particularly if there's any underlying issue with blood sugar regulation, their blood sugar might dip too low in the early hours of the morning. Your body's natural response to low blood sugar is to release hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which are designed to raise blood sugar levels. Unfortunately, these hormones are also stimulating. They are essentially stress hormones, and they can very effectively jolt you wide awake, often accompanied by feelings of anxiety, a racing heart, or even sweating. This often happens in the early morning because you haven't eaten for several hours, and your body is using up its stored glucose. What can you do about this? It might seem counterintuitive, but sometimes having a small, balanced snack a couple of hours before bed can help stabilize your blood sugar overnight. Think something with a bit of complex carbohydrate and a little protein or healthy fat, like a small piece of fruit with a few nuts, or a few whole grain crackers with cheese. The goal isn't to have a big meal, but just enough to prevent that dip from happening. However, it's also crucial to consider what you had for dinner. Eating a very large, heavy meal, or a meal high in simple carbohydrates and sugar late in the evening can sometimes cause a blood sugar spike, followed by a crash a few hours later, leading to that same early morning awakening. Focusing on a balanced dinner earlier in the evening, and if needed, that small stabilizing snack can make a big difference in keeping your blood sugar on a more even keel throughout the night. Another potential internal trigger for that early morning wakefulness is anxiety or stress. It's incredibly common for worries to feel bigger and more overwhelming in the quiet solitude of the night. When you're not distracted by the activities of the day, your mind can easily fixate on concerns, health worries, financial stress, family issues, or even just the mundane worries about tomorrow's errands. This mental rumination activates your body's stress response system, the sympathetic nervous system. This is the fight or flight response. When it's activated, your body releases those same stimulating hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, making it difficult to relax and fall back asleep. Often, these stress hormones naturally peak in the body in the early morning hours anyway, as part of our natural circadian rhythm, preparing us to wake up. If you already have elevated stress levels, this natural peak can push you over the edge into full wakefulness. Managing nighttime anxiety isn't always easy, but there are strategies that can help. Developing a relaxing bedtime routine is key. This isn't just about brushing your teeth. It's about creating a buffer zone between your busy day and sleep. This could involve reading a physical book, not on a screen, listening to calming music or a podcast, taking a warm bath, or practicing gentle stretching or yoga. Mindfulness or meditation exercises can also be very effective in quieting a busy mind. Even just 5 or 10 minutes of focused breathing can help lower your heart rate and calm your nervous system. If specific worries are keeping you up, try a technique called worry journaling. About an hour or two before bed, take out a notebook and pen and write down everything that's on your mind. Get it all out onto the paper. The idea is to externalize those thoughts so they're not just swirling around in your head when you're trying to sleep. Once they're written down, you can tell yourself you've dealt with them for today and you can revisit them tomorrow if needed. This practice can help create a sense of closure and prevent those thoughts from ambushing you in the quiet of the night. It takes practice, but finding ways to soothe your nervous system before bed is vital if anxiety is your early morning culprit. Moving on from what's happening inside our bodies, the environment where you sleep plays a crucial role in how well you sleep through the night. Think about your bedroom. Is it truly a sanctuary for rest? Light is a powerful cue for our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells us when to be awake and when to sleep. Even small amounts of light in the bedroom can disrupt sleep, particularly in the later stages of the night when your sleep tends to be lighter anyway. Are there streetlights shining in? Is light creeping in from under the door or from electronic devices? Using blackout curtains or blinds can make a significant difference in creating a truly dark sleep environment. If that's not possible, consider using a comfortable eye mask. The goal is to signal to your brain that it is nighttime and time to stay asleep. Temperature is another often underestimated factor. Most sleep experts agree that a slightly cool bedroom is ideal for sleep. Our body temperature naturally drops during sleep, and a warm environment can interfere with this process, leading to discomfort and wakefulness. Experiment to find a temperature that's comfortable for you, but generally, cooler is better than too warm. Using breathable bedding, wearing appropriate sleepwear, and ensuring good airflow in the room can help maintain a comfortable temperature through its sleep. Noise is the third major environmental factor. Unexpected noises are particularly disruptive, jolting you awake. Think about noise from outside. Traffic, neighbors, early morning birds, or noise from inside the house, plumbing, appliances, other household members waking up. If you live in a noisy environment, consider using earplugs. While it might take a little getting used to, they can effectively block out sounds that would otherwise disturb your sleep. Alternatively, some people find that using a white noise machine or a fan creates a consistent, soothing sound that masks sudden disruptive noises. The key is to create a sleep environment that's as quiet, dark, and cool as possible to support continuous sleep. Making these adjustments to your bedroom might seem simple, but they can have a profound impact on improving your sleep quality and reducing those early morning awakenings. Beyond the immediate sleep environment, our habits throughout the day also significantly influence our sleep at night. One key element is daytime physical activity. Regular exercise is one of the most effective ways to improve sleep quality. It helps regulate your mood, reduce stress, and builds up sleep debt, the natural tiredness that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. However, the timing of exercise can matter, especially as we get older. Vigorous exercise too close to bedtime can be stimulating and make it harder to fall asleep. Aim to finish any intense workouts at least a few hours before you plan to go to bed. Gentle activities like walking or stretching in the late afternoon or early evening are less likely to be disruptive. Finding an activity you enjoy and incorporating it regularly into your routine can significantly improve your nighttime sleep patterns, making you less prone to waking up early feeling restless. Another daytime habit that impacts sleep is napping. For some people, a short nap in the early afternoon can be a refreshing boost. However, long or late afternoon naps can interfere with nighttime sleep by reducing your sleep drive. If you struggle with early morning awakenings, take a look at your napping habits. Are you napping for long periods? Say over an hour, are you napping late in the day? After 3 p.m.? If so, try limiting your naps to 20 or 30 minutes and ensure they are taken earlier in the afternoon. If you find naps make it harder to sleep at night, it might be better to skip them altogether, even if you feel tired during the day. Pushing through the tiredness slightly can help build that sleep pressure needed for a solid night's rest. Speaking of tiredness, sometimes we try to combat daytime fatigue with stimulants like caffeine. While a morning coffee is fine for most people, late afternoon or evening caffeine intake is a major culprit for sleep problems, including early awakenings. Caffeine has a half-life, meaning it takes several hours for your body to eliminate even half of it. So that cup of tea or soda you had after dinner could still be circulating in your system at 3 a.m., preventing you from falling back asleep easily. Pay attention to all sources of caffeine, including chocolate and some medications. Try cutting off all caffeine intake by the early afternoon, say around 1 or 2 p.m., and see if that makes a difference to your early morning wakefulness. Dietary habits throughout the day also play a role. We already touched on blood sugar, but it's worth reinforcing the importance of consistent meal times and balanced nutrition. Skipping meals or eating very erratically can mess with your body's internal clock and energy levels, impacting sleep. Similarly, eating large, heavy meals, especially ones high in fat or spice, close to bedtime can cause digestive discomfort or heartburn, which can easily wake you up in the night. Giving your body ample time to digest before lying down is important. Aim to finish your dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. If you're hungry later, opt for that small, sleep-friendly snack we discussed earlier. Finally, it's worth considering the elephant in the room. For many people, the use of electronic devices in the evening, the blue light emitted from screens, phones, tablets, computers, and even some TVs, is particularly disruptive to sleep. Blue light suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that signals to your brain that it's time to wind down and sleep. Using these devices right before bed essentially tells your brain to stay awake. The stimulating content you might be engaging with, checking emails, scrolling through social media, watching an exciting show, also keeps your mind active and alert, making it harder to transition into sleep mode. Aim to turn off all screens at least an hour before bedtime. Use that time instead for your relaxing bedtime routine. This simple habit change can significantly improve your body's natural ability to prepare for sleep and stay asleep longer. So, as we've explored, waking up consistently in the early hours isn't just an inevitable part of getting older. It's often a signal from your body that something is slightly out of balance, whether it's related to fluid intake, blood sugar, stress, your sleep environment, or your daily habits. It might be needing to adjust when you stop drinking fluids in the evening, or what you eat before bed to stabilize your blood sugar. It could be finding ways to calm your mind before you lie down, creating a darker, cooler, and quieter bedroom, or looking at the timing of your exercise or that afternoon nap. Sometimes, even just being more mindful of when you have that last cup of coffee or tea can make a real difference. Remember, improving sleep is a journey, not a race. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 changes that seem most relevant to you. Perhaps the one that felt like a light bulb moment as we discussed it. Maybe it's cutting off fluids earlier, or trying the worry journaling technique, or making your bedroom a little darker. Give it a week or 2 to see if you notice any improvement. If not, try another strategy. Be patient and be kind to yourself. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. And it takes some experimentation to find what works best for your unique body and lifestyle. Small, consistent steps truly can make a big difference to your sleep quality, which in turn impacts your energy, your mood, your concentration, and overall health and happiness. Getting more consolidated sleep, even if it means adding just an extra hour or 2 of solid rest in those early morning hours, can significantly improve your quality of life. Don't accept chronic early waking as just how it is now. There are often actionable, gentle ways to encourage your body to sleep longer. We've covered quite a few potential reasons and solutions, and perhaps some of them resonated strongly with you. Maybe you realized that your late-night tea habit could be the culprit, or that you hadn't considered how much light was actually getting into your room. We often get used to things as they are, assuming they can't be changed, but simply becoming aware of these factors is the first step towards making positive changes. Think about which 1 or 2 of these points felt most relevant to your personal experience. Could it be that stress is peaking just when your natural hormones are also rising in the early morning? Or maybe you never thought about the connection between your evening meal and your blood sugar levels. Hours later, it's about empowering yourself with knowledge and trying different approaches. It's about listening to your body and understanding its signals. And, importantly, it's about recognizing that seeking better sleep is a valid and important part of taking care of yourself as you get older. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity for maintaining your health, vitality, and ability to enjoy life to the fullest. Reclaiming those early morning hours of sleep can feel incredibly liberating. That surprise I mentioned at the beginning, perhaps it's realizing just how much control you actually have over your sleep quality. Simply by understanding a few key principles and making thoughtful adjustments to your daily routine and environment. It's often not a mystery or something you just have to live with. It's a puzzle with pieces you can arrange to create a much better picture of rest. If you found this information helpful, or if any of these points struck a chord with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you tried any of these strategies? Is there something else that has helped you with early morning awakenings? Your experiences could be incredibly helpful to someone else watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about simple, practical ways to live your best life at every age, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We cover topics just like this to help you navigate the journey of aging with confidence and energy. Thank you for watching. And remember, you'll always have the potential to improve your health and happiness. Live your best life at every age.